Conservatives are not even trying to hide the fact that they hate poor people anymore. Just watch this. And we begin to ride. Steady, steady rocking all night long. And we begin to ride. Steady. This guy is wearing a hoodie with a cross. And he's dancing over the fact that 40 million Americans, including 18 million children, are losing food assistance because of Donald Trump. The hoodie says, Jesus saves on the back. You know what Jesus stood for? Feeding the hungry. How can you claim to love religion and dance while poor people go hungry? Why don't you just cite the Bible you believe in? For example, Exodus 16:8. You know that it was the Lord when he gives you meat to eat in the evening and all the bread you want in the morning, because he has heard your grumbling against him. That is God literally feeding people. Or John 6:35. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. We live in such a dystopian society where people who claim to be religious do stuff like that, and Donald Trump is having a great Gatsby-themed Halloween party while 40 million Americans are losing their food assistance. It is insane.
You know what's haunting about this? The hoodie literally says Jesus saves on the back. The same Jesus who multiplied bread and fish, who said, whatever you did for the least of these, you did for me, who spent his entire ministry feeding the hungry and helping the poor, but somehow, celebrating hunger became acceptable, even righteous. This isn't about policy differences anymore. This is cruelty with a cross on it. And the people dancing, they genuinely believe they're on the moral high ground. That's what makes it terrifying.
A sad day in America.
Sad day in America when all we can afford is some ground beef. Work 40 hours all week and can't even afford a steak. Something going on. Come on now, Trump. Help us out.
Yes, MAGA, red state, complaining about groceries. And just so you know, the fun on the increases have just begun. Just begun. Every single day I read about price increases based on tariffs. If you didn't know, inflation was 2.4% in May of 2025, and it skyrocketed 2.7% in June. And we are going to see even higher cost every day in my comments. People telling me something went up 40%. Costco, their grocery store, coffee, everything. Buckle up, America.
Inflation jumped 0.5% in 1 month. People are seeing 40% price increases on basics. And the big outrage? A singer at the Super Bowl, speaking Spanish, at a football game. That's the distraction, folks. Keep you mad about culture war nonsense so you don't notice your wallet getting lighter. Because if you're focused on halftime shows, you're not focused on your grocery bill.
Millions of Americans can't afford groceries, rent, high-quality health care. Our rights and our freedoms, those are being taken away day after day. MAGA, the Republicans, they're focusing on the issues that matter most. They're focusing on Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. Really? Are we being for real right now? You're upset that Bad Bunny doesn't support President Trump? What, he's not allowed to perform because of that? He doesn't worship Trump? Are you only going to watch the Super Bowl halftime show if it's Ted Nugent? Oh, you're upset that he doesn't sing in English. Well, maybe just enjoy the music. Music is its own language. And millions of Americans can speak Spanish. So I'm pretty sure this says a lot more about you than it does about Bad Bunny. Oh, you don't like that he doesn't support ICE? Yeah, get over it. He doesn't support the broken immigration system that's occurring right now. Maybe you need to be focusing on issues that actually matter and not issues in regards to who's going to sing at the Super Bowl halftime show. This isn't patriotism. This isn't fighting for the truth. This is pathetic, and it's snowflake politics.
You know what's wild? Trump is out here saying that we have too many federal holidays off, as if that's the reason the economy is hurting. Not the record-breaking debt under his watch, not the tariffs that tanked American farmers, not his tax cut for billionaires. Nope, it's the day off you get for Memorial Day. That's the problem. Are y'all tired of him yet? Because what he's saying is, you don't deserve rest. You don't deserve paid holidays. You should be working more and living less. Also, he and his rich buddies can hoard more. If you're MAGA and you get paid time off, guess what? Trump's talking about you. You think you're safe because you wear that hat? He still wants you on the assembly line instead of being with your family. So tell me again, are y'all not tired of this man yet?
Wait, so the problem with the economy is that workers get Memorial Day off? Not the record debt, not failed policies, not tax cuts that added trillions to the deficit. Your day off. That's the issue. This is class warfare, and it's not even subtle. Work more, live less, so billionaires can hoard more. And if you're someone with a job that gives paid holidays, this message is for you. You're being told directly that you don't deserve rest, that your time with family is a luxury this country can't afford. But private jets, gold-plated ballrooms, those are fine, apparently.
Today, the Trump administration ordered Michigan to stop issuing food assistance for November because of the ongoing federal government shutdown. With the amount of news coming at us all the time, it's easy to lose perspective. So let's break down what this really means for people in our state. Right now, more than 1.4 million Michiganders rely on food assistance to feed themselves and their families. Republicans want to demonize people in need and use them as political collateral, but here are the facts. 78% of SNAP households include someone with earned income. Over 38,000 Michigan veterans rely on SNAP. 36% of households have seniors, 43% have children, and 51% include a person with a disability. And for those who still question the connection between hunger and health, this program is also fiscally responsible. Every SNAP dollar generates up to $1.80 in economic activity. This latest move is more proof that Trump lied about tackling affordability. Instead, he's inflicting pain on working people while enriching himself and his billionaire donors. Now that he's back in office, he's raising taxes on consumers, gutting Medicaid, and wasting taxpayer dollars on vanity projects and luxury perks, all while families struggle to afford groceries. Today's SNAP directive isn't just bad policy. It's using hunger as a political weapon, and it will hurt tens of millions of seniors, veterans, and children across our country. It's cruel. So let's turn our outrage into action. Call your members of Congress, support your local food banks, and make sure that Michigan's families aren't forgotten.
Let's get specific, because this matters. 78% of SNAP households include someone with earned income. They're working. These aren't freeloaders. They're people whose jobs don't pay enough to survive. 38,000 veterans, 36% seniors, 43% have children, 51% include someone with a disability. And here's the part nobody talks about. Every SNAP dollar generates $1.80 in economic activity. It's not just feeding families, it's keeping local businesses alive. Grocery stores, farmers, supply chains, cut SNAP, and you're not just hurting poor people. You're gutting entire communities. But this was never about fiscal responsibility. It was about punishment, about using hunger as a political weapon. And the people celebrating, they're about to learn what collateral damage feels like.
These rural Americans in this clip voted for Donald Trump, and now they cannot afford to eat. He promised he was going to make these people's lives better and fix all of the problems they are facing. However, he has done the exact opposite. Everything has gotten worse.
How big of a problem hunger is in rural America? Spend time at a mobile food bank.
It's 90% of what I consume. And I don't keep the car running. I can't afford the gas, so I have sleeping bags to stay warm.
I still feel bad that I have to come up here and sit in a line, to get food. It's embarrassing as hell.
While Americans are struggling to afford gas, food, and rent, Trump has found time to do just about everything else except for his job, including giving $40 billion to Argentina. He's also found the time to demand $230 million in taxpayer money for himself. And of course, he's got plenty of time to destroy the entire east wing of the White House and replace it with a ballroom that's modeled after one of Putin's palaces. But he can't find the time or compassion to reopen the government or extend ACA tax credits that many of his rural supporters rely on to survive. This is what happens when leadership becomes a vanity project. Trump isn't governing, he is indulging himself. He's treating the presidency like a personal empire with luxury renovations and giving foreign strongmen billions of dollars. Meanwhile, his very own supporters are standing in food lines saying they can't afford gas or groceries. It's not like he doesn't have the time or resources to fix this stuff, it's that he simply doesn't want to or care.
So, billions for foreign governments, hundreds of millions for personal luxury projects, ballrooms modeled after dictators' palaces. But Americans sitting in food lines? Nothing. Rural voters who believed they'd be helped? Ignored. This isn't incompetence. This is choice. A deliberate decision that some people matter and others don't. And the people who matter, they're not the ones sleeping in cars because they can't afford heat.
Breaking news. 2 MAGAs get fact-checked by the produce manager. This is great. This just happened just about 20 minutes ago. I was shopping in a grocery store here in the Fort Lauderdale area that's well known for its fresh produce. And as I was shopping for my items, I saw these two MAGAs. There were two guys in their 50s. I'm wearing their MAGA hats. And they were all crowing about how Trump was going to make America great again and how Trump was going to bring down prices and cut inflation and all these type things. But then they were complaining in the store about the prices of the fresh produce. And so I guess one of the managers or the fresh produce manager, somebody walked by. And so one of the MAGAs says to the manager in the store that they can't wait until January 20th when Trump is going to lower the prices on goods because he all of a sudden becomes president. They think he magically can do this, just like Biden was the one who caused all the prices to go up just because he happened to be president. Complete untrue, but that's another story. And so the guy kind of looked at him and said, sir, what do you mean? And he said, I don't believe that's going to be correct. And the produce manager says something back. He says, you do know that Trump has proposed to increase tariffs on Mexico by 25%. And many of our fresh vegetables and fruits all come from Mexico. You're going to be paying higher prices, sir, under this tariff proposed by Trump if it goes through. Their prices won't go down because, and the guy goes, what? He said, Mexico's not going to pay for it. He says, no, sir, you're going to pay for it. We're going to pass those prices on to you because our importer is going to pass those prices on to us. You're going to pay more. And the two just looked at each other like they were in shock. These people are complete idiots. I mean, they are operating with burned out light bulbs. Love to hear from everybody. Love to hear from your thoughts. Love to hear from my Democrats and my MAGAs, my crazies and my cuckoos. Y'all are definitely not going to get what you thought you voted for. And lower prices, if these tariffs go through, you're dreaming. You're dreaming. Keep smoking whatever you're smoking. Not going to be true. And I'm sure you'll try to find a way to blame it on Biden, even though all the problems that we had under inflation under Biden all came from Trump under his collapsed economy, 15% unemployment because of the COVID pandemic and because of the pipeline shutdown, all because of Trump's poor handling of things. But you all can't connect the dots. Love it, love it, love it. You're going to love these prices if these tariffs go through. Thank you, Trump. Nothing like having an orange Jesus around.
This moment is everything. Two guys complaining about prices, saying, just wait, January 20th will fix this. Then the produce manager drops reality. Sir, you know about the 25% tariffs on Mexico, where most of our produce comes from? You're going to pay more. And they just froze. What? Mexico's not paying for it? No, you are. That's literally how tariffs work. They're taxes on consumers. 50% of U.S. fresh produce comes from Mexico. When you slap tariffs on it, that cost passes directly to your grocery bill. But nobody explained this, or they did, and it was ignored. Because slogans are easier than economics. And here's the thing. This guy just learned he voted against his own wallet from a produce manager in a grocery store while shopping for vegetables he can no longer afford. That's not irony. That's tragedy.
It's time to speak up. Well, it appears the joke's on me. It appears I have been the biggest fool alive. You see, before the last couple of days, I knew that there was a segment of MAGA who just hated, who just wanted to burn the world down and they don't care who they hurt. In the meantime, I knew there was that section, but I really, really thought that most of MAGA just didn't get it. I really thought they just didn't understand. They didn't understand economics because it's complicated. They hadn't studied Project 2025, so they didn't know what was coming. But I really thought when he got in there and started doing the things that hurt so many people, that they would realize and that they would, but they don't care. Y'all have been telling me this for 2 months, and I kept saying, no, we just have to explain it to them. We just have. Now, I know there are a few, and I thank you guys. You make it worth sticking with this. But over the last couple of days, I have realized that the majority of Republicans do not care how many people are hurt. And they are exactly what Palpatine said They're the ones he was talking about when he said he could unalive someone in public and they would still vote for him. I thought they just wanted lower egg prices. I thought they were struggling in the economy and it was hard and they wanted their lives to be easier and they listened to that. And that's why they voted for him. But they don't care. They literally don't care how many other people in this world are hurt. See, the difference is I'm willing to pay more for my eggs if it means no one in my country goes hungry tonight. I am willing to pay more for my eggs if it means everybody can have an egg. But they really don't care. And I am heartbroken that so many in my country don't care. That so many won't go love their neighbor. But I want to thank those of you who are. You're the ones keeping me going. Go love your neighbor.
This breaks my heart, honestly, because she tried. She really believed people just didn't understand, that better explanations would change minds, but she's realizing they do understand. They just don't care. As long as someone they don't like suffers more, their own suffering is acceptable. As long as the other side loses, winning doesn't matter. I'm willing to pay more for eggs if it means no one goes hungry tonight. That's empathy. That's community. But that's not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with people who will let their own families suffer, as long as someone they hate suffers worse. And that's not politics anymore. That's not even ideology. That's just cruelty, pure and simple. Pure and...
I spent years saying that the MAGA movement is Manifest Destiny 2.0, and Donald confirmed it during his inauguration speech when he said, "We will pursue Manifest Destiny into the stars." Manifest Destiny, of course, was the 19th century belief that white Christians were divinely chosen to expand across North America and beyond, no matter the cost. It led to the near extinction of Native Americans, forced relocations, and unimaginable suffering, all justified by claims of progress and divine right. And here we are again. The MAGA movement brings us Trail of Tears 2.0, using the same playbook. Over the weekend, Trump proposed clearing out Gaza, forcing Egypt and Jordan to take 1 million people each and uprooting 2 million Palestinians. Both countries refused. Somehow his supporters spin this as the defense. See, people will stop him from doing evil. Since when is relying on others to block horrific ideas something to celebrate? Let's be real. How do you move 2 million people? The answer feels familiar. Manifest Destiny isn't just a slogan. It's a mindset rooted in entitlement, repackaged for the 21st century. The stakes aren't just land this time. It's humanity itself.
So just so you stupid motherfuckers know, and by stupid motherfuckers, I do mean you Trump supporters, you stupid bitches. While you're celebrating the fact that there are people who are gonna lose access to food, you need to also know that because these stores, the Krogers, the HEBs, the Walmarts, because all these stores receive those SNAP benefits, they actually act as a subsidy for your groceries. What does that mean? That means that if the SNAP recipients don't receive their benefits, the stores don't get that money. Which does what? It increases your fucking grocery prices, you idiot motherfuckers. The guy that you voted for, who lied about saying that he was gonna increase or decrease your expenses on groceries, is doing everything he fucking can to increase them. Since he got in the White House, the price of groceries went up. The shit you voted for this bitch for, or the shit you say you voted for him for, he's done the exact fucking opposite. You stupid sons of bitches.
Here's what people don't understand about SNAP. When recipients spend benefits at stores, that money subsidizes the entire store's costs. Kroger, Walmart, HEB, they get billions in guaranteed SNAP revenue annually. Cut SNAP, stores lose that income, and they make it up by raising prices for everyone. So congratulations. You didn't just hurt poor people, you hurt yourself. Grocery prices going up? Yeah, because you just eliminated a major revenue stream for the stores you shop at. Economics isn't political, it's arithmetic, and the math just hit your wallet.
What? Oh, nothing. I'm just wondering if you heard what Donald Trump said about not being able to lower the grocery prices. here we go. He said it's going to be hard, not that it's going to be impossible. Right, but he's not even in office yet, and he's already backtracking on his main campaign promise. Here we go. You're going to try to explain tariffs to me and then make it about immigration? I wasn't even going to bring that up because it's a given, but yeah, that is going to make things more expensive. Well, I guess that just means that people are going to have to shop for products made in the USA. Do you know we still need to import things to make US products? I think what's so interesting about you is that y'all have zero faith. You don't understand that he's going to make the gas prices cheaper, which is going to in turn work out. So I don't care if I have to pay a little more for my groceries. Oh, wait, so now you don't care? That's right. I don't care that I am paying a little bit more for this slice of cheese. Right. The sliced cheese that you have to count for your kids. Plus, everyone knows if we go into an economic recession, it's going to be Biden's fault, not Daddy Trump's.
MAGA regret is a trend. And just like buyer's remorse, I anticipated that this would happen. There was no way that people willingly made this decision and they were actually fully educated in their decision. They considered all options. They considered all possibilities. They considered the impact that this could potentially have. Or they even glanced at 2025, Project 2025. They didn't. And so some of this was about, and so I get it. Do I feel like the government entity as a whole might not always benefit the American people? Yes, I do think that. Do I feel like sometimes politicians trump regular average people like me and you? Yes. Do I think that people attach themselves to the idea and concept of the fact that a billionaire could potentially run America better than politicians? Yes. And I think that what people did was attach themselves to the dream that they could potentially have access to that amount of money, that they could potentially get into this environment where Trump was going to change the status quo of how we live, how we eat, how we breathe, how we operate as a country, and how the government operated specifically. I think that he led with that because that was the emotional appeal that he could attract so many different people. Even after he disrespected so many different nationalities, said so many different offensive things, has been in very compromising situations when it comes to women as well. Y'all still voted for him. And so now I'm starting to see all these videos that are, it's like a trend where it's like MAGA regret. And so there's all these people that are going through the reasons why they are regretting voting for Donald J. Trump and how they didn't understand that whatever decision making he was going to make, that it would impact things that are so closely related to what they need, what they depend on, what they do on a daily basis, maybe even their employment, their livelihood, the employment, livelihood, and dependency of their loved ones, whatever it is. I stand in solidarity with the 92% and say,
So, regret is everywhere now. People waking up to consequences. But let's address the elephant in the room, the part nobody wants to say out loud. A qualified, experienced candidate with actual plans lost to chaos. And for many people, that was acceptable, preferable even. Why? Because competence came in a package they couldn't accept. The hate of the black woman is so strong that you'll jeopardize your own livelihood. People voted against their own healthcare, food security, economic stability, because the alternative was a black woman in power. And it wasn't just about one person. It was about what her success would represent. Proof that black women can lead, that they're powerful. And 92% of black women voted against this outcome because they saw it coming, while everyone else is just now figuring it out.
we told you so. And the thing that I'll continue to say and scream to the mountaintops until I can't say it anymore is the hate of the black woman is so strong that you will willingly sign up to jeopardize your livelihood, your normalcy, the livelihood and normalcy of so many other people, your ability to live comfortably. You would give all that up versus allowing a black woman to be in charge. The funny thing about all of this is America knows it more than anything that black women are the most powerful people on this planet. And the problem with that is if we allow the black women in the White House, we empower black women across the world to stand flat-footed, take charge, and start running things everywhere. We'll start to see a movement. We'll start to see black women rising up in all types of leadership positions. We'll start to see those timid black women, they'll find their voice. They'll find their power. They'll find their strength. But they don't want that to happen. That's a movement that they want to prevent as much as possible. But 92%, I know we got something brewing. I know it's coming. Just wait and see, babe.
So here we are, a country suffering by design, people celebrating cruelty, and millions finally realizing they played themselves. Regret doesn't undo policy. It doesn't bring back food assistance or lower prices. The damage is done. But here's the lesson. Politics isn't a game. Elections have real consequences, and when you vote out of spite, hatred, or ignorance, you suffer too. Not just them, you. To everyone waking up now, good. Do something about it. Hold people accountable. Vote smarter. Demand better, because this doesn't have to be our future. Drop a comment. Is this regret real or too little too late? Hit like, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe. We're just getting started.